So guys, I had to test it. As you saw on some of the data mine videos that I did a while back during the week that we had with no dev server, or the weekend, right? They actually changed it around that time, the stealth of the F-117. So again, for the third time, we're gonna test it out again in the same way and try to show to you guys how effective this thing will be if used correctly. So now we have the GBU-27, which is an amazing bomb, way better than the original paveways that we were using. Still doesn't have the INS, I don't think, but the laser seeker just goes and it just tracks right from the get-go when the actual bomb is being dropped, right? So really better. And yeah, guys, basically the results that we had is that we had around, like, it was kind of funny actually. We had around the same time for the actual like lock, but for the detection itself it was more. So for the front, before it was around 4, 5, 6 kilometers. We are testing against the Tunguska, right? But now it is around 5.3 kilometers when you are going directly to the target, and sometimes it will actually detect you, but you cannot get a lock on from like 7 kilometers. So it's kind of different on how it is, but the general idea of the lock itself is at the same range, 5 kilometers, okay? From the back, there was, I think, the like biggest change, the back and the side, right? It was around 11 kilometers that they lost the lock. Before it was like 15. So that is buffed a little bit, you know, but you can still get the detection until like 18, 17 kilometers from the back, right? I don't know if it's because the IRC was being used as well together with this. Maybe that's the case on why you get a detection, but you can get a lock or something. In a general sense, 5 kilometers from the front, okay? Which is around the same of what it was before. So even though they did change the coefficient of the RCS, it didn't really change the range for some reason, right? Of course, coefficient is only one of the factors into that calculation of RCS, right? And from the back, it feels like it is buffed by a little bit, you know. I mean, it's around the same actually if you think about it, right? Because from the back, it was around that as well. So it's complicated. Sometimes it feels like it is buffed, sometimes it is not. From the side, then we can actually see a major buff, you know, or like a major nerf, sorry, because you could see that before it would be detected at the same ranges as the front aspect. It was basically 4 or 5 kilometers. It was the range that you could be detected from the side, but now it's like 8, 9 kilometers depending on the situation, right? So it's more closer to the back than to the front, and before it was basically a side aspect kind of thing. So conclusion is, from the front it's almost the same, but if you use the RST, I'm pretty sure you can detect it a lot more easy. And of course you can always detect it visually and get a lock on, you know, with the visual cue of the radar, right? So you can do that. From the side, it is a little bit nerfed because you can be detected a little bit further away than what it was before. And from the back, it is almost the same depending on the situation. If you use the RST or not, it changes a little bit, but it's minor changes, like 1 kilometer max of a change, 1-2 kilometers, right? From what it was. So it is like a little bit better, but not by much. It is better, but not by much, okay? And here we have an example of how, again, we're gonna be using these things. Once the actual patch is released, I will be doing a video in this, like in ground battles, to like show to you guys how to use this thing. But yeah, we are using the same tactic. Remember guys, you don't need to be 100% stealth. You just need to be 100% stealth until you get to the cone of silence of the search radar. Because then if you get there, yeah, the target can see you visually and stuff, but it's a lot harder to find you. So if you come for from different places, you will be able to actually get the target hidden, right? So here we are testing again in the same way that I did before in the other video. So my friend there is using the Tunguska. Why not the Panzer? A lot of people ask me why not the Panzer, because the Panzer is a top tier vehicle. This is not a top tier vehicle. You will not be seeing top tier vehicles. The Tunguska is actually a 0.7 higher BR than this thing, so you will see a lot worse AA systems than the Tunguska. The Tunguska is one of the best AA systems that you will see, okay? Just for you to know. The Thor we won't be seeing, the Oza you can see it, so there are vehicles here and there that you will see, but I try to use the Tunguska just because it is one of the best AA systems that we have in these BR ranges, okay? And the strategy is the same. Basically, fly 20 kilometers away, try to climb to around 4, 5 kilometers, 3 kilometers, something like that, without getting contrails. You always have to consider that. You will find the target and fly directly above it, since the gimbal limits horizontally of this TV system is really bad right now. Of course, it was nerfed by a lot. It's like only 15 degrees now. And then you will just have to fly directly above the target. Why? Again, you will get detected eventually, but the point is that you are getting from a place where the target is not expecting you, as well as trying to get, being stealthy while you are trying to get into the cone of silence, which is a cone of basically no detection right above the radar of the enemy, of the search radar, so that you are completely invisible, right? So here, he didn't know where I was, I didn't know where he is, but with the thermals and everything, it's very easy to find him. He was completely oblivious to me. It's a test of how good the F-117 can be to destroying specific targets. Not gonna be game-changing, but the stealth is still working well enough so that you are basically making the enemy blinded, basically, right? Because you are stealth enough that you can get to the cone of silence without being detected, and then you can just destroy the target, okay? Of course, in a real battle, there will be situations where you get shot down, as you're gonna see in the last clip that I show to you guys, but it's all that matters here is for you to not get detected in the first place. So for example, here I came from a different place, and he was trying to find me, man, visually, with the IRST, with the radar, everything, but it isn't enough, it just is not enough. And yeah, so it's a realistic test, because you cannot basically make the enemy oblivious to you using tactics. If you get detected, you are dead. So it was flying a little bit higher, as you see, 4 kilometers, and yeah, completely oblivious, very easy kill. Then I decided to do a low altitude bombing mission over here to show to you guys how not to do this. That's why altitude is so important, so that you can actually get into the cone of silence in the higher altitudes, which are the cone of silence is bigger there. So I was flying at 1.8 kilometers of altitude over here to show that, yeah, it was problematic. He saw me, I dropped the bomb, but I don't have countermeasures. I have to kind of remain in the position to actually remain with the laser. I would just, in a real battle, I would just, RTB. I wouldn't go straight to the target, and I would just climb and try again. But just to know that this is an 100% stealth. You need to use how you fly it with the cone of silence together with the stealth to make it work. But yeah, it is a little bit buffed in some places. Rear and front aspect almost the same, buffed a little bit but not by much, depending on situation. And in the side aspect, it is a little bit nerfed. Okay, see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, click the like button, comment down below what you think about the F-117, and I see you guys on the next one. See you guys, bye.